Good morning, everybody. It's Mike Ferry. Welcome to Mike Ferry TV. It's the week of August 18th. We are now in full preparation mode for our October Superstar Retreat on the East Coast. It's an exciting time for all of us. We're starting our tour on the East Coast. If you're an East Coast agent, hopefully we'll see some of you between this week and the 1st of October doing our run through the East Coast and sharing some ideas, trying to convince you that you can become a great listing agent, which I know you can do, sharing ideas on how to make that happen, and then if you choose to, inviting you to come to the retreat that second week in October. Maybe it's the first week, it's one of those weeks. So we're excited about what we have coming up. We mentioned last week a young lady from the greater Wisconsin area named Lisa Fabiano. And if you were at the retreat, tall, very pretty, very enthusiastic, big smile, highly expressive lady that talked about what she's done to build her business, or what is her blueprint for succeeding. So we're going to go through that today. Like last week with Ted, where there's some very specific things, there's things in particular that they do all the time. And it's these particular things they do and the thoughts they have that make them so good at what they do. Our job, last week, this week, for the next 2 weeks, is to share those things with you so you can improve the quality of your business the way they've improved the quality of theirs. So here's her checklist, her blueprint. Number one, my mindset, my belief in myself that I can do this at a very high level. And then I want you to listen to what she wrote down. I recognize it all begins with mindset and the thoughts that occur in my head. I have to mentally accept that certain goals and a certain income was possible. Listen to that. She said, I struggled with accepting the fact that I could produce at this level. Because before I got involved with Mike Ferry and his coaching and his training, I was producing here. And once I started to believe and I started to see and understand the steps that it takes to make that happen, I could develop the belief in myself that I could produce at this level and that I could actually go out and earn this income. She said, I keep my positive mindset through my connection with Mike, the company, the books, the audios, the CDs, all the like-minded people, and watching Mike Ferry TV, which you're doing today. Number one, belief in myself. Number two, on her great, which I thought was just a great checklist blueprint, the goals and actions that I take. Here's what she said. I realize that setting a goal is not enough. So true. Setting a goal is not enough. I broke down my goals into actions and became very clear and specific as to what I needed to do every day to get to where I deserve to be. I have to be courageous enough to do these things every day, especially in the days I don't feel like it. Everybody says, I set a goal, and I go, great, I'm glad you set a goal. And then I always say, what steps are you taking to make that happen? Well, I haven't got there yet. Well, what is the point of going through the work of having a great goal for accomplishment if you're not going to support it with the action steps that it takes? And Lisa outlined all the action steps she had to take to achieve the goals she set. Number three, she said to me, on my blueprint, I focus on profitability. If you're not making any money, profit's not an issue. If you're doing 3 deals a year, profit's not an issue. You're trying to get by. You're trying to pay your bills. But so many of the tens of thousands of people that watch Mike Ferry TV understand that profitability. I don't care how much you earn. I only care about how much you get to keep for yourself, your life, and your family. That's the name of the game. So profitability, I built my business focusing on profitability. I have a profit and loss statement I look at every month. I recognize the cost of taking a listing. I understand I have to focus on the type of business that will give me the highest return in profitability. She gave an example. She said, if I get a call on a property that's listed for like $98,000, there's a good chance I'm not going to take that listing because I could spend that same time taking a listing for $250,000. Now, I'm not being critical of the people that have a house under $100,000, but I have a profit scale, I have a profit margin, I have a goal I want to accomplish, and that doesn't fit into my goal. Number four, schedule. And I love this, what she said. I am fanatical on my schedule. I have a limited amount of time. I'm a single parent. Therefore, my efficiency is my key. Making quick decisions throughout the day that help me stay on track and stay on schedule is a big part of my day. If it's not written down, I don't do it. I find the less time I carve out for different tasks, the more productive I am. Schedule, fanatical, schedule, fanatical. Lisa said she has a young daughter and she likes to be with her daughter, of course, every parent does. she has a life outside of real estate, which she does, her schedule becomes critical. The more time she spends fanatical on her schedule, the more results she gets. Exposure number, Mike Ferry is number 5. Exposure to Mike, my coach, and all the great agents involved in the Mike Ferry system. She said that probably one of the critical parts of her blueprint was the constant exposure to people that are growing and learning and positive and going someplace. So what she said then was, I attend 3 to 4 Mike Ferry events per year. I go to prospecting schools, I go to sales talks, action workshop, I'm involved in accountability groups, in the Think Big group, I watch Mike Ferry TV every week, I listen to the daily messages, I listen to my coach very carefully, I'm always talking to the top agents that I meet to stay on track. You know, I think if anybody watching today would just do that, just keep yourself in an environment that allows you to be positive and growing. Number 6 on her blueprint, I work hard to find solutions that make me uncomfortable. I work hard to find situations, that make me uncomfortable. Mike's always said, and you understand, that growing is being uncomfortable. So I asked her, I said, what does that mean? She goes, well, I look for ways to make myself uncomfortable. I ask myself how this will cause me to grow. I have to give up my resistance to changing. Anything from being aggressive in lead follow-up, that's a change for most people. Using the scripts, that's a change. That makes her uncomfortable. She's had to learn to be uncomfortable to learn to grow. Number 7, I work on Mike's 5-minute rule, and I have a short-term memory. Well, I haven't talked to you guys and gals about this a lot. I have a couple of rules that I follow. If somebody upsets me, I can only be upset for 5 minutes. That's it. If something bad goes wrong, I have to have short-term memory. I cannot hold on to what went wrong if I expect to be positive and keep growing and moving forward. She works real hard at letting go of those negative situations that take place in our daily life as real estate professionals. Number 8 on her blueprint, I take the time to work on my business plan and I source my business. You know, here we are in August. Some of you have had a great first 7 months. Some of you have struggled a little bit. I guess it's a good time to stop now and look backwards and say, where did my business come from? Am I reading my business plan? Do I have a business plan? Do I have goals and objectives that I've laid out? Am I looking at them all the time? Am I doing something to help myself move forward? Now here we go. Now it gets tough. Number 9 under blueprint. I prospect 12 to 15 hours per week to attain the goals I've set. She said, it became clear to me there's a direct correlation between the amount of time I spend prospecting and the success of my business. I cannot be successful without talking to people. Why do so many of you believe that you can actually make money in this industry of selling and never be involved in conversations with people? Here's a lady doing 100 deals a year, making $650,000 a year, living a wonderful life with she and her daughter because she's willing to talk to people. And then number 10 on her blueprint, I follow the scripts Mike gives us verbatim and I don't deviate. I write them out every day. I practice them and still practice them every day. Mike makes it easy for us. He gives us the scripts to say in every circumstance. You know, when she finished her blueprint, I wanted to give her a big hug. Can't do that publicly in front of 4,000 people. But I wanted to just say to her and whisper in her, Lisa, just keep following your own blueprint because the success you have is never going to stop. Would you like to have more success? Would you like to have better listing production and sales production, August, September, October, November, December? Do you want to make this happen? I guess this is as good a time as any to make it happen. If you don't have a blueprint for yourself, if you don't have a business plan, if you don't have goals, take what Ted said last week and Lisa this week, give them a try. Talk to you next week. Thanks.